Hello and welcome to Journey Well with Dee. Today's sequence will be focusing on increasing mobility and strengthening the knees and ankles. Go ahead and stand with your feet about hip distance apart, standing up nice and tall. Let's take a moment just to center ourselves, taking in a nice relaxing breath. Deep inhale and nice and steady exhale. Next, we're going to move into some knee tucks. Go ahead and grab your one knee in towards your chest and then switch and alternate by grabbing the opposite leg. As you're doing this, make sure that your toes is pointed towards the floor. This will engage the whole leg as well as the ankle and the foot. Feel free to use a chair or the wall for support if you're struggling with your balance. Next, we're going to head into a narrow squat, so still making sure that your feet is about hip distance apart. Take a deep inhale, and then on your exhale, lower down into a squat, extending your arms overhead. This part is optional because remember, we're focusing on the lower half of our body. So if your shoulders is a little tight, you can just go ahead and rest your arms by your side or extended in front of you. As we come into our last squat, try and go as low as you can and hold it here for a few breaths, as low as you can, and then extending all the way up. Take a deep inhale, extend both arms overhead and head into forward fold as you exhale. Inhale and come into half lift, straightening the spine. Now we're going to stay here for a little bit, so if you like, you can use either blocks or the back of the chair for support. Once you're nice and steady, go ahead and raise your one heel off the ground, placing it down and then lifting the opposite heel off the ground. Go ahead and switch between the feet as we pedal it out, nice and steady, all the while still focusing on your breath. We want to loosen up the ankle, loosen up the calves as well as the hamstrings. Now you can continue at this pace, or if you like, you can go ahead and see if you can increase the pace a little bit, just for a few rounds before placing both feet on the floor. Taking a breath here. Go ahead and see if you can walk your feet a little closer together. Have the big toes touch, lowering down and head into chair pose. Take a nice full breath here before extending all the way up. On your next breath, lower down into chair and extend all the way up. Let's do 3 more of these. Heading into your last one, hold it here. Go ahead and see if you can lift up your heel one at a time. If not, stay in chair pose and just make sure you focus on your breath. Remember, you can use the back of a chair for support if you need it for balancing. Placing both heels on the floor, coming to forward fold, taking a breath here. Coming into half lift. Go ahead and step your right leg back, adjusting however you need to as we head into high crescent lunge. Now you have the option to either have your hands extended overhead or place your hands on your hips, whichever feels most comfortable for you. Taking a full breath here, and then on our exhale, we're going to fold over our bent leg, extending the arms towards the back of the room, coming back up into high crescent lunge and then lowering the back knee down towards the mat. We're going to do this 2 more times. As we're heading into our low lunge, place your knee fully on the mat, untuck your toes. You can go ahead and place your arms on your hands on your hips. I want you to shift your foot a little closer towards your body, making sure that the knee is slightly over the ankle. Option to use a pillow here for the knee that's on the floor. And then when you're ready, I want you to go ahead and rock back and forth into that bent knee. We want the knee to move slightly over or slightly surpass the toes, moving at a nice steady pace. You don't want to overextend or overexert yourself. As you finish off the last one, come to center, placing your hands on the inside of the bent leg. See if you can swing that leg back. Make sure that your feet is parallel to the mat. Your knees is about hip distance apart. Come up onto both knees, and I want you to take a breath here and then slowly push your weight back into your heels as you're sitting down on your heels, giving the tops of your feet a good stretch. Taking a full breath here before slowly moving your weight forward tucking your toes under, still making sure that the feet is aligned with the mat, and then moving your weight slowly back into your heels. We're going to repeat this for one more round, making sure to keep an eye on your feet and making sure that they are parallel, shifting your weight as far back as you can to get a good stretch at both the tops of the feet as well as the bottom of the feet. Coming up onto both knees, go ahead and swing the right leg forward. Untuck your back toes of the left leg. Make sure to move your right foot a little closer towards the body, making sure that the knee is slightly over the ankle as we do the rocking back and forth motion again. As you rock forward, your knee will surpass your toes slightly, coming back and then moving forward again. Make sure to move on your breath and only go as far as you are able. Let's go ahead and do one more before coming to center. Go ahead and shift your foot slightly forward, as far forward as you can. Tuck your back toes under of the left leg, of the leg that's on the floor. And then when you're ready, try and steady yourself by lifting yourself up into high lunge. If you need some assistance, you can go ahead and use a chair or a wall. If you use either a pillow or a folded blanket, just make sure to get that out of the way. Get yourself nice and steady. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, fold over the bent leg, extending the arms towards the back of the room. As you inhale, come back up and heading into low lunge. Inhale, fold over the bent leg. Exhale, come up and move into low lunge. Let's do this one more time. Coming up into high crescent lunge, fold over, placing the palms on the inside of the bent leg. See if you can go ahead and swing that leg back as you come into plank pose. Taking a breath here before shifting your hips up towards the ceiling and heading into downward facing dog. Go ahead and adjust the feet however you need to. Taking a nice full breath here. On our next breath, go ahead and tuck both knees in towards the chest and then extend. We're going to do this a few more times. So inhale, tuck in your knees. Exhale, extend into down dog. Inhale, tuck in the knees. Exhale, extend. Coming to center, we're going to see if we can pedal out our feet here. Nice and steady. You can even go ahead and swing your hips from side to side. Whatever feels good to you in this moment. Come to center and push your heels as far down towards the ground as you are able. Taking a breath here before bending the knees and walking your feet towards your hands, coming into half lift. Taking a breath. Forward fold, allowing the head to hang loose. Placing your palms together, thumbs overlap. Take a breath and extend all the way up into mountain pose before releasing your arms towards your side. We've come to the end of our sequence today. I thank you very much for joining me and I hope that you enjoyed it.